All right, so I just opened the layers panel. I'm going to close it again and then go window. So you remember that it's here. All of the panels are under window, and there's the layers panel. In the layers panel right now I have one layer, and I'm going to change the name of that layer 1 to be called type. So now I have a type layer, and it's expandable and collapsible just like an Illustrator layer. And here I'm going to add a new layer. I'm going to make sure that this layer is not selected when I add the new layer, because I do not want this new layer to go inside of this other layer. So I now click it, and I'm going to call this one images. To create or place an image in an InDesign document can be done in a couple of different ways. One way is just to do what's called a straight place. I just want to mention I am now making sure I am selected on this images layer, because I want the things I create now to go into that layer or onto that layer, so I can have it discrete and separate from the other layer. And I'm going to do what's called a file place. File place will let me go grab a bit of work here and put it in this document. I'll just get some images here from one of my brochures for Destiny Arts. Click open. Okay, so here is the image. It's sitting right on this cursor. If I click once, it'll come in at full size. That's how big it is. It's big. If I undo, Command Z, then I can click and drag and make it a specific size. Okay. If I want the type to wrap around it, which is pretty important, helpful thing to know how to do, you go to Window, Text Wrap, and ta-da! The Text Wrap panel has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 options and an invert. The normal option is no text wrap. The second one is wrap around a box. This thing is more of a box, so I'll just click that one. The spacing is controlled above and below the object with these little arrows. And when I click away and then click on the preview button, I can see how my page looks. And as I move the image around, the text wrap follows. So the text wrap is actually applied to the image, not to the text. The image itself receives the wrap. And if I click away, arrow keys. Generally, type will feel like it has more air on the right side because it's ragged or uneven. And it'll feel like it has less space. It feels like it has more space on the left side of an image than on the right side of an image. So usually on the right side of an image, I will make sure that this button is not linked. This is the little link, the wrap button. And I want to make sure that the space here is a little bit more on the right. Okay, and then maybe less on the bottom for this particular image. But depending on where you move this around, it's going to feel different. That doesn't look very good. At least I want to try to get this. So that may preclude I need to resize the image. If I resize the image, I'm going to hold the Shift key while I drag. I'm really resizing the box. To make the image fit in the box that I've now resized to the size I think I want it to be, even though it looks really strange right now, I do this thing, you will do this thing called object fitting. I'm going to go over these different types of object fitting. The main two I usually use are either fill frame proportionally or fit content proportionally. Fill frame tends to make the content a little bigger, whereas object fitting, fit content, in this case doesn't look any different because it's rectangular. But if this was circular, it could look very different. Now, that's all fine and good. But there's a whole different way that I could treat this image That would be a lot less limiting, but does require a couple of more steps. My main issue right now is that these people are really small, plus they're children, so they're short to begin with. So they're extra small, because they started out small. And I want to like zoom in on their little faces, but I want the box to stay the same size. So one of the really weird things about InDesign is no matter what you do, your picture is in a box. If you try to get rid of the box, because I've tried this, you cannot. It will make another box. No matter what, it will make a box. So if I like select this box here, and I think I'm like cutting the image out, I still have a box here, right? I delete that box and I paste this image. See that red thing? There's still a box there. That is a box. That is a box. But now it's outside of this box. It seems like it's outside of the box, and it's not. See that? You see what happened? There's always makes a box. That's what I'm saying. It puts a box around your image. Why is the image not going with the box? Because you're weird in design. So I'm going to go back a couple of steps here to where I had my box, right like that. And because let's say I really am set on it taking up this much space, okay, I'm going to put these ruler guides down here at the sides, left and right, and at the bottom and at the top. Yeehaw. Now, I'm going to take this over here and pretend that never happened. No, I'm not going to do that. I have these guides here, and again, I'm going to try to just remove the image. If I want to just remove the image, I know this is like, why would you do this? But if I go to the regular selection tool, you see there's like a disc in the middle, and I slide that around, and then if I go to cut, it just puts it, well, that was bad. That was not what I wanted to do. If I go to cut, sorry, I forgot how to use InDesign. There's the box. I cut it out of the box. The box is there. But if I paste the image, the photo now, it has its own new box. That's okay. But this box is important to me because it's the right size and in the right placement. And this picture, it's just such a weird tool. It's now out of the box, but it's now in its new box. And then I'll size it. I'll go to Free Transform tool. People have their different ways of doing this, and now I'll scale it up. Now I'm really scaling the image, right? I'm using the Free Transform tool, but I don't want the box to get bigger. The box over here is the right size. So I want these little kids now to go inside of the previous box. Right? It's crazy. So I'm going to cut the box, select the box, and do Edit, Paste Into. So now I have the image at the scale I really want it in the box size I really want. That does seem like a lot of steps, doesn't it? It is. But really, when you're designing your layout, you would design where the places for everything, where it goes first, and you might scale the image in a different way, but eventually you'll need to know how to do what I just showed you. All right, so that's putting your image in a basic wrap with a rectangular wrap, and that's fine for now. I'm going to go ahead and close that one, end that one.